Good,
I'm
man.
recorded.
Good.
Okay. You're recorded too, Devashis. Be careful. Be careful. You're being recorded.
Okay.
Dandavad Maharaj.
Dandavad Falguni, how are you?
Happy to see you.
Oh, good seeing you also.
Dandavad Maharaj, Dandavad devotees.
Dandavad. Where are you? I can't see you. Oh, there you are. Dandavad Ananta Govinda.
Dandavad
Dandavad Maharaj, Dandavad to all the devotees.
Dandavad Saraswati.
Dandavad Maharaj.
And Krishna Chaitanya from Ukraine.
Dandavad Maharaj, Dandavad devotees.
Dandavad. Did you send those beads to?
Yes, I did last Friday.
Okay, good. Okay. Everyone well?
Yes, man.
Maharaj. And you?
I'm good. I'm okay. I'm just trying to think. It's been a lot of work this week because I'm dealing with the situation in India.
Yes.
That's been pretty heavy, a little bit, and because of the COVID, also. How's Indumuki? Oh. Everyone there is good?
Yes.
Okay.
Actually, Dandavad Maharaj, last time we forgot to tell you a little bit about our Tulasi house inauguration. Devashis Prabhu was here. Maybe you can tell Maharaj a little bit about it. About it.
Yeah. Yeah, it was very nice actually. Finally, the new Tulsi Mandir was inaugurated. We had some ceremony and quite a lot of people came. Must have been
70
I don't know, at least 30 people came.
No, 70.
Really? So many?
Yeah.
I thought it was
Yeah,
inaugurated a long time ago.
No, it's just been a work in progress, let's say, but it was actually fully operable on Saturday. So yeah, it was very nice. We had some kirtan and, then a nice prasadam and some
Maharaj, I'm going to show you quickly, now that we are here.
Krishna Mohini Didi.
Can you see that? Or the connection is...
I can see it, but I can't see what is the glass.
It's reflecting, huh?
Well, the roof is reflecting. Now I can see inside. Can we see a close-up of Tulsi?
I think it's frozen up. They're probably out of range of their Wi-Fi at that close proximity.
Okay. Okay. I saw the tulsi that was raised by that Indian gentleman. He had a mahag big tulsi that he had grown. And are they all coming out like that?
Yeah. He's looking after them every day.
Yeah.
That's his service. He comes here every day and cares for them.
Devashis, how's your wife?
She's very well, man.
She's good.
I'm
Yeah.
good, Maharaj. Thank you. Good to see you.
Oh, there's Krishna Mohini too.
Dandavad, Maharaj. Dandavad. Todos los devotos. Dandavad. Dandavad, Mohini.
Krishna Mohini is in España now.
Yeah. How come? Where is Gaurachandra? I saw him a minute ago and then he disappeared.
Yeah, he was there.
He's coming, he's coming.
Oh. Ah. Been trying to deal with India and everything is going on. I mean, Acharya Maharaj's successor he's very nice. Niriha Maharaj. He's about 26 or 27. I'm not sure how old he is. Jai Krishna, okay. Krishna Mohini. It's hard to see you, Krishna Mohini,
Maharaj, I'm good. How are you?
because of the window behind you. There's a window behind you, and it makes too much light, and then it makes your everything. Yeah, now I can see you very well.
Dandavad, Maharaj.
Dandavad. How are you, Ananga Manchari?
I'm okay. Yeah.
Dandavad, Maharaj.
Dandavad. Okay. Everyone is fine?
Very well, Maharaj, by your witness.
You remember Falguni G. Das?
What Falguni I can remember. I think everybody should put the names, their name and the name of their wife on their tag.
I'll see if I can change that. Let me have a look.
And names of people's fathers too, you know. I mean, I don't know if it's, you know, Govinda Maharaj told me I can remember a few people's names, but he said I can't remember the names of all my disciples. And also, every time when I see that when, for instance, Rupa Goswami goes to visit Mahaprabhu and he's staying at the house of Haridas Thakur, then when Mahaprabhu comes and Rupa Goswami's present, Rupa Goswami offers his dandavats, and Haridas Thakur says, Rupa Goswami's here offering his dandavats to you. And of course, Mahaprabhu can see that, but at the same time, and I'm sure he knows obviously who Rupa Goswami is, but at the same time, I think the proper thing is to be able to introduce you know, people, when you go to a temple or something, they should bring people. People should come. Oh, here is so and so, and here is so and so, and here is so and so, and you see that in the Chaitanya Charitamrita all the time. They go here and here is so and so, and this is your devotee, and this is that, and this is that, and I think it. You know, Probably in another couple years, I'll be eating baby food through a straw or something. I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. Let's see. Prabhupada, when he came to the West, it was 1965, and in this India steamship booklet that they published for him, it said he came here at the age of 10 years, which means 70 years old. So that was, and then 1965 plus 6 would be 1971. 1971, Prabhu was 76 years old. So I believe I met Srila Prabhupada in 1971, and he would have been 76 years old when I met him.
Mm.
And now I'm 76 years old, so what can I say about that? They said the ripe old age of 10 years, which is 70 years old. So the first question is: everybody is well. Everyone is well there. No one is ill. I take it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that's. And is your temple open also?
Yes, Maharaj, we're open there.
In West London also?
Yes.
Yes, Maharaj. We're open now.
Yeah. I ultimately figured everybody. You're the host, right? You're the hostess, Saraswati or Devashis?
Me, I'm the host.
Well, all right, here I have a comment for. There's a comment for you. Oh, good. But you still but you have it as GDOS. I know who is GDOS. It's Gaurachandra. Ananta Govinda, you're not in the temple, right?
No, I came to work today.
To work?
Yes.
Okay.
I was reading this morning from guidance and I have a question. When they say Das Goswami, the referring to Raghunath Das Goswami, or it's a different person?
No, when they say Das Goswami, that's Raghunath Das Goswami.
Ah, okay.
Because there's Raghunath Das Goswami and Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. So when they refer to Raghunath Das Goswami, it's Das Goswami.
Can you talk a little bit about Bhatta Goswami?
About Raghunath Bhatta Goswami? Okay.
Yes.
Today I just finished the Chaitanya Charitamrita. It was the last part of the 20th chapter of Anjalila, which is the Shastika verses. So I read that, and I also read Prabhupada's concluding words, 3 pages. It was very nice. So Now twice I've recorded all the videos of the Chaitanya Charitamrita. And you can put the two of them together because everything is there, but some days maybe I read the verses better than other days. So maybe between the two compilations of all the verses, and you can hear which are good and which I sound sleepy and like that, whatever. But today was very good. It was very nice, very beautiful. So Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, we can speak in English, I take it, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So when Mahaprabhu traveled to South India and he stayed, what is it, in the temple of, what is it, the Ranganath temple, is that it? When he stayed with Gopal, but he stayed with, no, okay, that's Gopal Bhatta Goswami. Raghunath Das Goswami is the son of Tapan Mishra. Tapan Mishra lives in, was very unusual because he met with Mahaprabhu when Mahaprabhu went to East Bengal during the time in which Mahaprabhu's first wife passed away. That was Lakshmi. She was, and it says this, while he was gone, the snake of separation bit her. So we don't know if it was figuratively speaking, snake of separation, or actually she was bitten by a snake. But anyway, she had passed away when Mahaprabhu came back. They were saddened. So while Mahaprabhu was on that particular trip, he met with Tapan Mishra. And Tapan Mishra he had a dream in which a Brahmin told him about Mahaprabhu, and he went and met with Mahaprabhu while Mahaprabhu was in East Bengal. And he indicated that he was very much confused or aggrieved. He'd read many books, but he couldn't draw any conclusion what he should do. So he approached Mahaprabhu. And Mahaprabhu, he had seen in a dream that Mahaprabhu had arrived. Oh, no, that's later on. So anyway, in East Bengal, he had a dream and a Brahmin told him to approach Mahaprabhu. So then he approached Mahaprabhu and he took shelter of Mahaprabhu. But it was unusual because at that time Mahaprabhu was a Grihastha. He was living in Navadip with his mother and his wife. After he came back and Lakshmi had passed away, then sometime later he satisfied Sachimata's desire that he would not leave home like Vishnu Rup, and he married again to Vishnu Priya. But while he was in Bengal, East Bengal, he gave shelter to Tapan Mishra, but he didn't tell him to go to Navadip, where he was living. He told him to go to Varanasi, or Benares, as it's called now. So Tapan Mishra followed Mahaprabhu's order, and Tapan Mishra went to live in Varanasi, which at that time was full of mostly Mayavadis. There weren't so many devotees there. So he would keep the association of Chandrasekhar and like that, a few other persons, but he didn't have so much Vaishnava association in Varanasi. So, but it was an indication that Mahaprabhu would later meet with him in Varanasi, and an indication that Mahaprabhu would take sannyas. And that's a lot. So then Mahaprabhu, when he went to Vrindavan, he went through Varanasi, and Tapan Mishra at that time had a dream in which he saw Mahaprabhu arriving, so he was waiting for Mahaprabhu a little outside the city, and then Mahaprabhu arrived and met with him. So that's the background story of Tapan Mishra and him living in Varanasi. Now, when Mahaprabhu went there to meet, after he had moved to Varanasi and he was living there, Mahaprabhu met with him, and he also met with Tapan Mishra's son, who at that time was called Raghunath. Sometimes it refers to him as Raghu. So Raghunath was living there with Tapan Mishra and the devotees, and he knew Mahaprabhu. So then, after some time, when Mahaprabhu was back in Jagannath Puri, Raghunath, he went to Puri to meet with Mahaprabhu. Mahaprabhu was very happy to see him, but Mahaprabhu told him, take care of your aged father and mother, because now Tapan Mishra and his wife, they were aged. So Raghunath was given some instructions. One was to take care of his father and mother who were aged. Another instruction was not to marry. He was told, don't marry. He was told, if you get married, or as Prabhupada states, for one who's married, then spiritual life is slow or nil. That's the comments the comments that Mahaprabhu made. But I will also say, I think that comment is especially related to, in particular to Raghunath Das Goswami. It's not related to everybody. It's not related that nobody should get married. It's related to Raghunath Das Goswami, his particular situation. Because most of Mahaprabhu's disciples and Mahaprabhu's followers, the great majority of them were married. But there was a particular instruction for Raghunath Bhatta Goswami. So Raghunath, he was known then, he went back and he took care of his father and mother until they passed away. They were old, and then then he went and stayed with Mahaprabhu, and he is a very particular person in the sense that he used to sing the Srimad Bhagavatam, it said, he would sing verses in 3 different melodies and everything like that when he's singing the Srimad Bhagavatam. Everyone was very satisfied with him. And ultimately, he stayed with Mahaprabhu for some months, and then Mahaprabhu sent him to Vrindavan to be with Rup Sanatan, Jiva Goswami, like that. And that's Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, the son of Tapan Mishra. And you know the difference. Raghunath Das Goswami, his story is very different. His living in the son of Govardhan Majumdar, but the story of Raghunath Das, that's a whole different story. But there's 2 Raghus, Raghunath Das Goswami, Raghunath Bhatta Goswami, and apparently there's a 3rd Raghunath, who I'm at this particular time forgetting. They're all So anyway, among the Goswamis, it's Raghunath Bhatta and Raghunath Das Goswami. So, which and then the other person is Gopal Bhatta Goswami. He's the son of from, what is the name? He's in South India, believe the temple of the Ranganath.
Yeah. I said I'm on the sand.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
So I don't know. Do you have any more questions about Raghunath Bhatta?
Not really, but I have a new question. Can I do it?
Yeah, new questions. Okay.
Do you know that when we're doing puja, we offer bhog to someone called Pavnamasi? Can you talk about that, please?
When you're offering bhog, you offer to Padmavati.
No,
Pavnamasya.
it says Purnamasti, but we don't offer bhog to her. We offer prasad to her.
Oh. What is Purnamasi? She's grandmother of what is it? Purnamasi. What is it? Is she Krishna's grandmother or what? Devashish?
I'm not sure actually, but
I thought she was Krishna's grandmother, but she's...
I know she's a manifestation of Yoga Maya.
Okay, anyway. You see, there's certain figures in the Chaitanya Charitamrita that appear as, let's say, Vatsalya Ras, because they're like older residents of Vrindavan, and they have affection for Mahaprabhu, often have affection for Srimati Radharani, they offer shelter to them, and in the sense of being in Vatsalya Ras. And Purnamasi is like that. She's very affectionate also with Srimati Radharani. Let's see what yeah.
The grandmother of Srimati Radharani.
Okay. Grandmother of Radharani, okay. I didn't know about so much Radharani's side of the family because her husband and her husband's her mother-in-law and her sister-in-law. What is it? Jotila, and what's the other one?
Chatila and is it Kotila?
Kotila, okay. So they're involved. I didn't know that because of that kind of background, I didn't know what Purnamasi was. I remembered I thought she was Radharani's grandmother, but then I got to thinking maybe she was Krishna's grandmother, but she's always offering encouragement to Srimati Radharani. Purnamasi, where did you find any reference to her, Devashish? Because there's, comments sometimes in prayers by her. Did you find anything there?
And looking.
She's mentioned in songs also, so.
Yes. He's mentioned in Rupa Goswami's Vidagdha Madhava. And,
Okay.
and she's also the mother of Sandipani Muni.
Sandipani Muni. Okay. She's the mother of Sandipani.
Yeah.
Wasn't Sandipani Muni, he's the professor or the head of the Gurukula?
Yes, of Krishna.
Yeah, where Krishna was in Gurukul with Sudama Vipra and others. That Sandipani Muni, his mother is Purnamasi?
Yeah, according to what I found here. But
so Sandipani Muni is then related to the family of Radharani?
Must be, yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
I want to just... So let me just see where I can...
In different places, it says different things.
Yeah? Let's see.
In another place, it says she's the grandmother of Madhu Mongol.
Yeah, these are references I've heard, but it's hard for me to put all of it together.
Yeah.
Suvasini, how are you? Good?
Dandavats Maharaj, sorry, it was on mute. Yeah, yeah, I'm okay, Maharaj. How are you?
I'm okay. Everything. Okay. And Pandita.
Maharaj. I think I can.
Pardon me?
If I can ask a question, I would be happy. Is that possible?
Yeah.
It's about control. Basically, we're encouraged to see everything as the Lord's mercy, and for us to adjust to mind flow that's happening. But sometimes, and to actually to give up the control of any particular situation, in a sense, like seeing it as an opportunity for me to adjust to the situation rather than force my faulty misconception onto something. And but then at the same time, sometimes when it comes to responsible service, there's an element that you sometimes requires taking some some control or initiative to ensure that it's done correctly, or at least so my capacity to understand what is correct. So could you please advise a little bit about how to negotiate between surrendering and seeing things as a divine flow, and also ensuring that I'm doing what I can to ensure that my service is performed correctly?
Yeah, we understand that. Devashis, you know that saying where it says, what is it? The devotee is praying to, you know, what is it? I don't care for, where he says, more or less, Satyabhama and I believe Baladev and all these other persons, please have your seat. Don't mind, you know, but it's kind of what's, you know, how is that stated?
Yeah, it's from Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu. So it's when only I will serve. Even if Baladev comes forward, or Lakshmi Devi comes forward, or whoever it may be, I will not allow them to serve. Only I will serve.
Well, it's more or less, it's stated in a little bit different way. It's like, you please have your seat. You please have your seat. I'll show you respect, but it's more or less, don't interfere with my service. I have my particular service, and I honor you and everything, but I don't have, but right now I will do my own service, and it is, in other words, showing a little bit respect, but at the same time, please sit down and just be tranquil, have your evening tea or whatever. But
well, that was the kind of the expanded or explanation of that statement, because that was something that Guru Maharaj was discussing when he was writing his commentary on Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, and he came upon that, and he is thinking, how is this a devotee's statement of humility? It seems very arrogant that he's saying, no, only I'm going to serve, no one else. Don't get in the way of my service, whoever you might be, whether you're Baladev or Uddhava or Lakshmi Devi. And then Guru Maharaj, when he got that, he said, by the grace of Srila Prabhupada, meaning Saraswati Thakur, he said, my understanding came that, yes, you please you all take your seat respectively, and I will serve. As well as serving the Lord, I will also serve you too. You will also be the objects of my service. Something in that way.
Yeah, and it says something to the effect, more I understood the wording, I don't care for this, and I don't.
Right.
Right. So he's just saying, and if you look at it superficially, you could think, well, where's the humility? And it's kind of, please don't get my way. Almost a feeling,
right?
Like I have service to do, and therefore I'm showing you respect. But you have your service, and I have my service, and I just have to concentrate on my service. I can't let anything or anyone get in the way of my service. But it's said in a particular humor. So sometimes when you're asking, well, how can we be humble and show respect in everything, and at the same time do our service? I think of a little bit of that verse where the person is saying, you know, it's not that I don't have respect for these personalities, or that I neglect them, or I don't show humility towards them. It's just that I have to do my service, and that is of the paramount importance to me. So I'll show respect to everyone, and I'll do what I have to do, but at the same time, I'm not going to dismiss or relegate my service in any way. I have to do this. There's Pitambar also. I can see him. And one time one time, and he's my disciple. And one time I sent to Govinda Maharaj in this respect. I said, Govinda Maharaj, you know, I'm in communication with Peter Maharaj, and a lot of times he doesn't answer my emails, and he doesn't, you know, respond. And Govinda Maharaj said, because he's really working hard to maintain the Guadalajara temple. And Govinda Maharaj said, well, he's not like you. He doesn't have any free time. He has to, he's keeping the whole thing running. So he has no time to always answer emails or phone calls or stuff like that, because he's working hard. And that's what it's like. Govinda Maharaj answer in a humorous way. Well, he's not like you. He doesn't have so much, he doesn't have time to do all these things. So it is true. I've seen, there are individuals like that. There are individuals like Jai Balai, who runs everything, book publishing, runs the temple, cooks for the temple, translates literature, and helps maintain the temple financially by going out and collecting or selling things. He's always doing things. Pitambar's kind of in that vein. I asked him to help. Tienes que tener tiempo para hacer la cosa para el formulario que te dije. ¿No?
Sí, hice algo con Vamshi acerca de esto y le mandamos algunas hojas. ¿No las vio?
No. Tengo que verlos de nuevo.
Por WhatsApp.
Okay. ¿De cuenta tuya o de Vamshi? Okay, tengo que ver eso.
Como 4 hojas.
Okay, 4 hojas. ¿Y me mandaste el password y todo? ¿Sí o no?
Ah, sí, mandamos okay. El...
Bien.
Y está Haribálava. Bueno, está aquí en Guadalajara. Lo acabo de llevar a hacerse la prueba anti-COVID. Y viaja el viernes a San José. Va a estar para Haribálava.
Ok. Está bien. ¿Y cómo viaja? ¿Por tierra o por avión? ¿Ah?
Tiene vuelo Guadalajara-San José por Alaska Airlines.
Ok, mándame los datos.
Sí.
Tú no has mandado todavía, ¿no?
No.
¿No?
No he mandado eso. Pero fue hoy por la prueba anti-COVID y salió negativo. Entonces viaja. Creo que a las...
That's how I'm proceeding here with the temple here. My proceeding is everybody who's vaccinated, they can come, and everybody who's not vaccinated, they can come here also. But they have to sit in the corner facing the walls and wear a pointed hat that says, I'm not vaccinated. No, they'll have to come here. They'll have to come here and wear masks, but it's very difficult to sing in a mask, so I don't I saw that one play Mahaprabhu did where Haridas Thakur in the play was a constable or something. It was with Vishnu Priya. No, pardon me. It was with a play in which Mahaprabhu, he played the part of Rukmini. Mahaprabhu played the part of Rukmini. And I think in that play, Haridas Thakur was, it was described that he's in a figure like a constable or something. I don't know. Of course, I don't think they called him constables in those days, but Anyway, that Mahaprabhu did a very good, was very presentable as Rukmini in the play. So I can have people attending. Principally, about 70% of the devotees have been vaccinated, so they can come, and other people who are not vaccinated, they can come also. But I'll need somebody to play a constable or something, somebody who maybe mask enforcer or something. Anyway, ¿en qué fecha tienes tú tu vacuna?
El próximo lunes.
¿Y cuál?
No, hemos buscado, pero no sabemos cuál va a ser. Pero quizás, yo creo, Sinovac.
Sí, seguro.
Yeah, the Chinese one.
Sí, ese.
Sure about that.
Está hecho de veneno de ratas. That Chinese one's made from rat poison, I think. No, not really. Not really. Asharmar's got the same one, but I thought they had Pfizer there.
Yeah, but
you got to be rich.
I don't know.
It's only for the people who are fee.
Pfizer may be better.
Pfizer is for fee. People are rich. Okay, so what were we at? So what were we saying? We were talking about the service relationship and Pandita's question about how am I to harmonize humility with doing service, and I guess that would include accepting social norms, right? Social norms like but I don't know. I mean, within our mission, I remember that Srila Govinda Maharaj said that, no, it was Guru Maharaj actually. Guru Maharaj's aunt more or less the way he described it is that women were not to take a secondary position, as some people who are, frothing at the mouth with male chauvinism may say, that women should take a back position. But Guru Maharaj said that his aunt told him, that women are meant to be protected. They're meant to be protected, but they're not meant to be, put in some inferior place or something. So that is a misconception that sometimes exists within the society, that women have a lesser position, and it's completely wrong, and I don't see why anyone should really accept that position. Maybe in India, due to social norms, they may sometimes accept that position, but I think that was one of the things that Srila Prabhupada talked about, that in a nice way, he's not being so using dismissive words like I am wont to do sometimes. So he spoke about it in a nice way, but he said, in the West, it's not like the Indian culture. Men and women, they relate with each other freely. I mean, it's not like at least it's not supposed to be, although sometimes even is in the West, but it's not supposed to be that that things should be male dominated or have that aspect of male chauvinism attached to them. Although we hear about it existing in the sense of the West of people not being equal in terms of jobs, even though they're, in terms of pay, even though they're doing the same jobs. So we know that exists, but Srila Guru Maharaj said believe it's his aunt, cautioned him, told him that women are to be protected, not to have this mentality that they should be put in some secondary position. So that was the advice that was given to Guru Maharaj, and he said he accepted and he thought about that advice, and it's very much related to, Guru Maharaj has showed the dealings of having more appreciation for all the devotees. And sometimes Srila Prabhupada, he said that it was different in the West than it was different in India, that men and women associated with each other more freely. So he adjusted his mission more on that basis. He said that previously in India, ashrams have been principally run by sannyasis and brahmacharis. And the grihastas were in a more outside position and would come to visit the temples. But that's not the way the mission was set up in the West by Srila Prabhupada, because I can say as an Acharya said, one of the definitions of the Acharya is that he can adjust the preaching and the mood of the mission according to time and circumstances, and place and circumstances. Time, place, and circumstances. And obviously in the West, it's much different than in India. And previously, some of Prabhupada's godbrothers had tried to do something, and who were sannyasis, but they had minimal results. One, they tried to approach the upper echelon of the society, the viceroys, the persons of position in society, and they were moving about, you might say, as priests, as sannyasis, or like that. But they had very not very great success. And when Prabhupada established things, he established things through the married couples principally. They went to England, they went here, they went to there. A lot of everything being done was being done through married couples, and not so much through brahmacharis or sannyasis, although I'm sure they were involved also. So, and actually, if we read the commentary about Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's movement, we see that although Mahaprabhu, it says, in terms of the root of the Chaitanya tree, it says there were like 12 sannyasis, or those who were functioning like sannyasis. Maybe not formally all were sannyasis, but that the mission was, they were the roots of the mission, and it was established, those roots going in 12 different directions. That is east, west, and all the different divisions of the degrees of east and west. If you have north, south, east, west, then you can diagonals, then you can have north, south, west. North. What would you have it? North. You could have it east, east, northwest. You could name all the different segments of the divisions of the map. But that was the root. The sannyasis were the roots, but the preaching wasn't going on principally through them. The preaching was going on through persons like Ramananda Roy, and through Haridas Thakur, Rup Sanatan. You could say, well, aren't they sannyasis? No, not in the sense that they were not operating within the Hindu society, because they'd taken employment from the Muslims. So they were outside of Hindu society. and as was, Rup Sanatan, Haridas Thakur, Muslim, also Ramananda Roy, who says that socially was regarded as a Sudra, although because the society was very much stratified and labeled, and he was seen, even though he is maybe more in the position of a Vaishya or something, still he was seen as a Sudra by the what would you call that kind of society? By the very kind of what's the term for that kind of a society that's very much, everything has its place and this and that. So it says that Mahaprabhu himself, he didn't operate spreading his mission through brahmacharis and sannyasis principally. That wasn't how the mission went on. Just like Subhuti Roy and other persons, they're actually considered outside the structure of the existing Hindu society. And yet Mahaprabhu spread his mission through these kind of persons. So I think if you talk about Prabhupada saying as an acharya, he could adjust things according to time, place, and circumstance, and that's obviously true. But I think if anyone starts seeing Krishna consciousness according to a pecking order, that this is a general and this is a colonel, we don't have the equivalent to a military, to an army. We don't have a social order or functional order. Pradyumna Mishra was sent to hear from Ramananda Roy. But Ramananda Roy, superficially, he was a grihastra, and he was training Devadasis to dance in the Jagannath temple, and therefore taking care of them and teaching them how to dance and everything, and dealing with them on a very intimate level, which, Mahaprabhu, it led to Chota Haridas leaving and committing suicide, giving up his life at the Triveni because and you couldn't even understand what was Chota Haridas's involvement with but his involvement with the lady happened to be very old. She was a very old Vaishnavi. She was a sister of Shiki Mahiti, Madhavi, very old. Chota Haridas had spoken with her or joked with her, I don't know what, but Mahaprabhu didn't want to see his face again. And eventually Chota Haridas was so upset that he went and gave up his life in the rivers of the Triveni and Prayag. So, but yet Ramananda Roy, he could be training Devadasis how to dance for Jagannath according to his play Jagannath Vallabha Natika. And yet there was no disturbance with that because although superficially somebody could have seen things in a different light, but actually internally Ramananda Roy is functioning in his spiritual body. He's also, you could say, as well as others, he's also Vishaka, and he's not dealing with these Devadasis as being. He's dealing with them as you could say, on the level of being in his spiritual body as a gopi or however. but there was no intent on his part towards exploitation. And I can't say what was the involvement with Chota Haridas, with Madhavi, that got him in so much difficulty with Mahaprabhu. But it's really reading that, you're meant to gather and understand what was Mahaprabhu's strictness, what he's trying to teach, and understand things from that level, that rather than trying to make everything just fit and pigeonhole it or put everything in its place. But I'm just saying, from all these things that are happening, we can see that the situation for preaching in the West is quite different than it was or is in India. I mean, in India, there's so much commotion sometimes about the temples and who has this position and who has that position and everything like that. And in the West, it wouldn't. I feel in the West, Srila Govindamar said, "I'm not worried about the West," and one of the reasons is it's just such a completely different culture. That's not necessarily to say that the Western culture is good, because when they asked to Mahatma Gandhi, what do you think of Western civilization? He said, I think it would be a good idea. As if to say, it doesn't exist. If it happens, if there ever comes to be such a thing as Western civilization, then that's a good idea. Not bad, not bad. Something for you to think about. But still, although it's maybe Western civilization is far different than Indian civilization, but one of the things is that we don't really accept what Pandita, you're asking about how I'm to behave and act according to social norms when I want to do my service. Basically, at least that's the way I heard the question in certain ways. Am I always to be subject to the rather annoying vision of persons who want to denigrate you because of who you are or your age or whether you're male, female, your age, and all these kind of considerations they want to make. They want to, okay, fine, you go here, you're in this pigeonhole. Well, but sometimes you don't want to do that. And I think I recognized that a little bit when I was young, because that was really behind the answer when Prabhupada said, why do you take sannyas? And I said, because I can't work with my godbrothers. That was my reason for wanting to take sannyas. But does that mean that I just disdained and hated my godbrothers? No, it doesn't mean that. And Prabhupada understood what I was saying. He says, because I can't work with my godbrothers, it means I need some position in which I can do something. I want to do some service. I don't want to just be relegated to what somebody wants me to do. Oh, okay, you can wash the kitchen. You can clean the bathroom. Okay, fine. I don't mind cleaning the kitchen, and I actually don't mind cleaning the bathroom or anything. If that's my assigned duty, I'll do that. But I sometimes would think that, I have other priorities. And not everybody understood. Oh, here come the kids. All right, come in.
Hello, Maharaj.
Hello.
Hello, Maharaj.
Yeah, all of you can come here. Now, this is, what's this? This is potato chips. Salt and vinegar. Very nice, because we're talking with England, and here is Ishan. And Ishan before is called Ethan. Ethan, almost an English name, is it not?
Almost.
Almost.
Emma too, huh?
Emma. And this is, come here. And here.
Come stand next to Maharaj with Emma.
This is Karuna. Karuna, come here.
Stand next to him.
Now you can look here. This is Karuna. How's that?
Hey, Karuna.
She's very sweet, Karuna. And this is Ishan. Come in, Ishan. Here's,
I'm the one with the rocket shirt and rainbow shirt.
here he
Wow.
is. Here, he's the one with the bowl haircut. It looks like a beetle. He looks like a beetle.
Shuggy calls him pumpkin pie haircut.
Pumpkin head.
And here, come in. This is like here. Wait a minute. This is Madhurima. Madhurima. You can take down your mask for 1 minute.
There you go.
There, Madhurima.
We even have masks.
Okay, you don't have a mask on. And here is Saraswati.
Why, Mama?
She's our super servitor. She does all the dishes and the sambal.
And here,
I try.
This is
and this,
my mom.
she's Fulamala's daughter. Maybe some of you know Fulamala. And here is Vaidehi without mask. 1 minute. Vaidehi and her and Leela. Vaidehi and the baby Leela. And she's Sarvabhavana's. Sarvabhavana. Yeah, Peter Bar, he's what do you call a stowaway.
We try to be like Pete Bar every week. We say, what would Pete Bar do?
Peter Bar's a stowaway.
He's a stowaway. Hey, you're not from London.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting us interrupt your call, guys.
Oh, nice.
This
is really great. Those
are really good. And Maharaj, these are perfect white peaches.
All right, very good. All right, thank you.
All right, Maharaj.
Maharaj, should I take your plates and put some lunch on it for you?
Put some what?
Lunch on it for you?
Is it lunch? It's not lunchtime
Well,
yet.
not quite yet, but
Later.
just bring it down.
Later.
Okay.
Her hair is all crazy.
Okay.
It's like a mohawk.
All right.
She looks at me when you're holding her. She looks at me. Bye, Maharaj. Like this.
Okay, Dandavad. Nice. Dandavad. Now, you see, I was just saying that in the West, things don't function like an Indian ashram with sannyasis and brahmacharis. And there's much difference, and you have to operate within those differences. You can't just think in some kind of, we can't just think in some terms of some Hindu stereotypes or social stereotypes, and besides that, as Govinda Maharaj said, he said that. I mean, he said it jokingly, but you can understand. He said, for the West, it will have to be Ragmarg because the Westerners can't even pronounce properly the mantras. What he also meant to say, they can't even properly pronounce their own names. So obviously there's a whole different category. Here's Shama Sundari. Where is Shama Sundari? We see.
Dandavad, Maharaj.
Dandavad.
I'm in the bus. I'm on the way home.
You're on the way home? Where are you? On some kind of conveyance? ¿Qué estás en alguna clase de qué? Transportación?
Yes, it's a bus. So
Bus, okay, good. Nice.
I just got out of.
Nice. And Govinda Vilas. And Ratan Chakrabarti. Govinda Vilas, Dandavat. Ratan Chakrabarti. Dandavat.
Please accept my humble obeisance on your lotus feet.
And here we have what is it? Lakshmi Kanti and
Dandavat Maharaj.
Dandavat, Ratan Chakrabarti. And what is your wife's name?
Smriti. Smriti Kona.
Oh, I couldn't hear.
Smriti Kona. Smriti.
Smriti.
Yeah, Smriti.
Okay. And here it says, what is it? Lakshmi Kanti and Krishna
Kishore.
Krishna Kishore, but it looks like Govinda Maharaj and well.
Yes, my husband chose that picture. He loves that picture, so he put it there. Krishna Kishore Prabhu loves that picture, so he just puts him everywhere.
Looks like Govinda Maharaj and Acharya Maharaj in this picture. It says Lakshmi Kanti and Krishna Kishore, but all right.
Maharaj, I have a question.
Okay. And then, oh yeah, Ajay Krishna, how are you? I guess, has Ratnavali, has she returned from work?
Yeah, I'm wondering where she is. I don't know where she is. I'm just about to call her. She should be here already. So I'm going to see if she's all right.
Okay. Gaurachandra, you have a question.
Yes, Dandava Maharaj, very practical thing. When I came here, the moving got, I got a devotee who left a lot of books in my house, and then when moving here to London, Falguni brought a lot of boxes, and in those boxes were a few books of not very kind and not very nice literature about Krishna that I don't like at all, but it is here, and I have photos of Krishna and all that kind of thing, and I don't know what to do with it. I don't know how to dispose it in a respectful way, because you have all these Krishna things in it.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe you can either find somebody who will take them off your hands, or give them to a second-hand bookstore. Just give them to them or something, or
okay,
yeah,
fine.
And
the other thing I wanted to ask you, I'm reading the Bhagavad, the book that you gave me the other day. I didn't know Nityananda Prabhu was older than Mahaprabhu. Is there any more information about Nityananda Prabhu? I don't know. I find the character so amazing. I would like to learn.
In the Chaitanya Bhagavat, there's a reference where I think somebody comes in and they offer obeisances first to Mahaprabhu and then to Nityananda Prabhu. And I'm trying to remember the whole pastime, but he actually reprimands the person instead of a little bit, because then it shows in a dream that he's Balaram, and then of course Mahaprabhu's Krishna. So should offer obeisances first to Balaram because he's older than Krishna, and there's some like a humorous exchange like that. Do you know what you did wrong? And it's like in reference to that you didn't understand who I am, and like that if he's Balaram and he's with Krishna, then first show the implication to show a little appreciation or respect first for the elder brother. So I was talking to someone once, and I was talking to someone said a temple was a temple of, let's put it this way, Nitai Gauranga, but it was a temple where those are the deities. And we would sometimes refer to Gaur Nitai. So if you referred to Gaur Nitai to this person, he would become upset, and he says, "Oh, let's show a little proper understanding or respect, you know. It's Nitai Gauranga, you know, like it's not Gaur Nitai. It shouldn't be, you know, it should be Nitai Gauranga or Nityananda Gauranga, like this." And the person actually reacted in that way. So, I mean, you can find this reference of Nityananda Prabhu talking to a person that you don't understand things properly. You know, what is the position of Baladev in relation? Then there's the incident with Gauridas Pandit that happened. Actually, we can see there's a lot of things that happen in reference to Nityananda that have very much to do with our line, that are very extremely important. Like Chaitanya Charitamrita. One of the incidents that's mentioned as being very crucial is how when Meenaketa Ramdas comes to the house of Krishnadas Kaviraj, and Krishnadas's brother doesn't show proper respect to Meenaketa Ramdas. And then also the priest, Gunarnava Mishra, I think it is, he didn't show proper respect to Meenaketa Ramdas. And in particular, Meenaketa Ramdas got angry, broke a flute, and then left. And it says there was complete nash, complete, you know, like things didn't go well in the household after that. And then Krishnadas that evening, he reprimanded his brother, and he said, referred to, what is it, Arda Kukuti, like that. What is the word? Arda Kukuti, half a chicken logic. Half a chicken logic. What is the Bengali word? Arda, what's the word for? Arda Kukuti, half a chicken logic. Meaning that the person likes, there's a chicken that lays golden eggs, and he likes the golden eggs, but he doesn't like the mouth that's always eating the food. So he thinks he'll split the chicken in half and keep the half that gives the golden eggs and throw away the half that's messy and has to eat the food. So then, of course, you can't do that. You can't divide a chicken in half. It's not going to live. So in the same way, he's saying, he told his brother, if you accept Mahaprabhu, but you don't accept Nityananda Prabhu. And we know Nityananda can be, it's said that some persons complained about Nityananda, that what kind of a sannyasi is this? He wears jewels, and he wears very nice clothes and everything, and he's supposed to be a sannyasi. What kind of a sannyasi is this? Someone complained. And it was just like, it's like, you know, the prayer. Whatever Nityananda Prabhu does, he's always my worshipable Lord. Even if he goes into a wine shop, or even if he has his arm around a Muslim girl, I don't care. He's always my worshipable Lord in all circumstances. So if you start trying to understand Nityananda Prabhu based on the fact that, I mean, Nityananda, he's an avadut. He doesn't act according to social norms. Sometimes he's dancing even in front of the men and women, and he's dancing and his clothes fall off while he's dancing. And Mahaprabhu said, if you just take a piece of his coping and you wear it on your arm as a kavacha, if you wear his Nityananda Prabhu's part of his coping. On your arm is a kavacha. You'll be free from all material desires. So who can understand the personality of Nityananda Prabhu? And Krishnadas Kaviraj reprimanded his brother for not accepting Nityananda Prabhu. And that night, he had a dream that Nityananda Prabhu appeared with all of his followers dressed as cowherd boys and told Krishnadas to go to Vrindavan. And Krishnadas left in the morning. And that is the major factor that precipitates Krishnadas going to Vrindavan, hearing from Raghunath Das Goswami and everything, and being asked by the devotees to write the Chaitanya Charitamrita. So it all has some relationship with Nityananda Prabhu. And of course, Vrindavan Das Thakur of the Chaitanya Bhagwat, Srila Govinda Maharaj, it's Srila Guru Maharaj also, Govinda Maharaj too. He says it could be called the Nityananda Bhagwat. It doesn't have to be called the Chaitanya Bhagwat because it's all Vrindavan Das Thakur is the disciple of Nityananda Prabhu. And the Chaitanya Bhagwat is as much about Nityananda Prabhu practically as it is about Mahaprabhu. So there's that. Guru Maharaj, Srila Sridhar Maharaj, he prayed for Nityananda Prabhu's mercy at Ekachakra. And he received some communication. You've already got so much of my mercy, now you have to distribute to others. So that was also a major factor in Guru Maharaj then giving Krishna consciousness even to the West, to everyone. You know, before he was taking a position in the line of Bhajananandis, and later, and he didn't exactly go to the other side, which would be Ghostanandi of just complete distribution, but went in a middle way. But all that had to do with Nityananda Prabhu's communication to him. And Srila Prabhupada, he established the worship of Gaur Nitai in so many places, or I should say Nityananda Nitai Gauranga instead of Gaur Nitai. He established, and he opened up the place where his samadhi is. He said the temple of Krishna Balaram was to show that Krishna and Balaram is not that Krishna and Balaram, or we can say Balaram and Krishna, they have appeared as Nityananda Prabhu and Gauranga Mahaprabhu, so they have deities of Nitai Gauranga, of Krishna Balaram, to show the world they're non-different. And that's where Prabhupada's samadhi is. His preaching, when I was with Prabhupada, many of my sannyasi godbrothers, they were worshiping deities, so I didn't have so much inclination to that, and I said to Srila Prabhupada, should I worship deities? He said, no. He said, you're a sannyasi. You don't need to worship deities. But if you like, you can carry with you a picture of Nityananda Prabhu or Panchatattva, and you can offer some incense to them. So, obviously there was some predilection of Srila Prabhupada, of Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, towards the worship of Nityananda Prabhu. And he was part of I don't know what the division, the Gotra of that particular Gotra, related to the Suvarnavanik or something like that. And it was known that their deity was Nityananda Prabhu, of that division of society. They were known as particular worshippers of Nityananda Prabhu. So, of our acharyas, we can see Chaitanya Bhagwat, Chaitanya Charitamrita, very much related with Nityananda Prabhu. We can see that Guru Maharaj is preaching related to Nityananda Prabhu. You might get some indication in the sense that Srila Sridhar Maharaj his appearance day is this appearance day of of Nityananda Prabhu's son. Yes. That in fact, Ekachakra, what is it called? It's called Birachandrapur. Birachandrapur. And Guru Maharaj appeared on Birachandra's appearance day. I mean, these are many references to Nityananda Prabhu. So, anyway, what was I saying in terms of this? Someone asked, what was the question? Is this still related to Pandita's question or no? I don't know. I don't think so. What was the latest question?
Gaurachandra asked about Nityananda Prabhu.
Gaurachandra asked what?
If you could
sorry, Mama. I wanted to learn more about Nityananda Prabhu Maharaj. You have done beautifully. I mean, like I learned so many things right now about him that, I mean, thank you very much. That's all I can say.
Well, you can't read the scriptures without noticing Nityananda Prabhu. He's everywhere.
Yeah, but my question is that as we are basically the cult of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
One moment. Lamanya Mai, how come you're sideways?
I just got my phone that way because then it stands up. Otherwise, I have to hold it. Well, maybe I could. Yeah.
Now you're upside down. Now you're spinning.
You're sideways now.
You are sideways now.
Right. Oh, okay. You are as well.
I am as well. Well, that's your fault.
You look fine sideways, Maharaj.
I look fine sideways. Okay.
I don't know. Oh, I know why. Because I've got my screen lock thingy.
Screen locked. There you go. That's
that. That one.
That's the whole answer. Who's Om? Oh, Jaya Lalita. Jaya Lalita.
Pranam, Maharaj.
Let's see. Are you Om Dasi?
No, I'm not. I'm just Jaya Lalita.
I know Jaya Lalita, but okay. But it's got the Om sign.
Oh, yes. She has an Om on the picture.
Okay. Ma Mantra, we haven't seen. Does your mother come on here or not?
Oh, there's my phone.
I don't know if she got the link from this particular London one. I haven't spoke with her in a long time now, maybe 2-3 weeks.
Oh.
Just we spoke right after Srila Maharaj's disappearance, and then I lost a little bit contact.
Okay. So we have any more questions or comments?
Maharaj, can I ask you one question?
What?
Can I ask you one? I have one question, please, Maharaj.
Okay.
Yeah. Maharaj, that is the Ramanandan Rai and Mahaprabhu dialogue was very interesting. So maybe two dialogues very important. Our Hare Krishna movement to realize everything. So Arjun and Krishna dialogue and Ramananda Rai and Mahaprabhu. Two dialogue. Is there any? What is the essence? Both have essence. I mean, like, what is the mode? What is the difference of these two dialogue? In addition, I have to ask.
Well, what is the essence of the? I mean, the dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna is Bhagavad Gita.
Yes.
Okay, so that's obviously of great importance because it's right from the mouth of Krishna and giving everything. And then Ramananda Roy and Mahaprabhu, that's the Ramananda Sambad, that's the 8th chapter of the Madhya Lila. Madhya Lila, 8th chapter, Ramananda Sambad. And that's very progressive progressive understanding, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami compares it to mining of different metals, starting out with the base metals and going to more progressively more and more valuable, taking more and more valuable metals from a mine. So actually, that is of extreme importance. I mean, Bhagavad Gita will give someone, and it will help someone understand, you can say Krishna consciousness in, what can I say, that you can understand it going through so many different subjects in the Bhagavad Gita, dealing with karma yoga, jnana yoga, sankhya yoga, so many different forms of yoga. But all those different forms of yoga, they're progressively being dealt with in each chapter, going towards, at every chapter, the end is always dealing more or less with this, with the exclusivity of bhakti yoga. You know, Bhakti mam abhijanati yavanyas chasmi tatvata tato mam tatvato gyatva vishate tadanantaram. Or bahunam janmanamante gyanavam mam prapadyante vasudeva sarvam iti samahatma sadurlabha. So many different verses where you're going through so many different subjects on different levels of understanding, which might be compared to what's being discussed in the Brihad Bhagavatamrita. And it's going always towards the exclusivity of bhakti yoga. And obviously it's very important because it's Krishna Katha that is being spoken directly by Krishna. And the structure of the Ramananda Roy's, the conversation with Mahaprabhu, is very much a little, you can say, different in the sense that in there, Mahaprabhu's asking the questions as if Ramananda Roy is the guru. And Ramananda Roy is giving the answers. Of course, Mahaprabhu is helping in the sense that Mahaprabhu is sometimes saying, Eho bayage kohoar. He's saying, this is external. Please go on, give something more. So you can say, but how it's related to just said, it's like that Mahaprabhu is the ocean, and the cloud, which is Ramananda Roy, is drawing from that cloud all the ocean water and then pouring the water back on the ocean in the form of rain. But you know, in terms of the structure, if you see the structure of the Ramananda Sambad, it appears that Mahaprabhu is asking questions to the Guru, and Ramananda Roy himself complains about that. Ramananda Roy said, well, I'm seen as a Shudra, and you're the Param Vaishnav Sannyasi. How can I be in the position of giving the instructions? And then Mahaprabhu says, Kipa Vipra Kipa Nyashi Shudra Kanino Ye Krishna Tattva Veta Se Guru Hoy. It doesn't, this appearance of what it is, it doesn't matter. Kipa Vipra, it doesn't matter that I may be a Brahmin, Kipa Vipra, or Kipa Nyashi, I may be a sannyasi, Shudra Kaninoi, or you may be considered a Shudra. But Jai Krishna Tattva Veda, if you can speak and give what is Krishna Tattva Veda, say Guru Hoy, then you're in the position of a guru. And later when he was meeting with Rup Sanatan and others in northern India, in Prayag and Varanasi, Mahaprabhu says, whatever I'm telling you is what I heard from Ramananda Roy. And when Mahaprabhu said, what is his name?
Pradyumna Mishra.
Pradyumna Mishra. He said Pradyumna Mishra. And the first time Pradyumna Mishra went the first day, he found Ramananda Roy training some Devadasis and dancing, and he couldn't understand at all what his position was. And he said, And at the end of the day, Pradyumna Mishra said, "Oh, you came earlier, but nobody told me. What can I do for you?" And then Pradyumna Mishra was so kind of confused. He said, "Oh, no, no." He said, "I only came here to have your darshan. Now I've seen you. Everything's all right." And then later that night, he met with Mahaprabhu, and Mahaprabhu said, "Did you meet with Ramananda Roy?" And Pradyumna Mishra more or less said, "Yes, I met with him, but I couldn't understand what he was doing. And what was he doing with these young women?" And he was, and then Mahaprabhu instructed him, "I'm a sannyasi, and if I even see the form of a woman in wood or clay, that I become disturbed. But Ramananda Roy is not like that. His mind cannot be disturbed in any situation because he's in his spiritual body. He can't be disturbed." And then he said, "Go back." Mahaprabhu said, "Go back to him tomorrow and hear from him." And then Pradyumna Mishra returns to Ramananda Roy, and he says to Ramananda Roy, Ramananda Roy says, "What can I do for you?" And he says, "Mahaprabhu sent me here to hear Krishna Katha from you." And then Ramananda Roy says, "Oh, okay, what kind of Krishna Katha would you like to hear?" And he says, "I don't know. I'm a fallen grihasta. What do I know?" He says, you speak to me." I don't know if he's a grihasta or not, Pradyumna Mishra. He says, "I'm a fallen person. I can't say what's good or bad. You tell me what I should hear." And he says, "Oh, maybe you can tell me what you explained to Mahaprabhu by the Godavari." So then Mahaprabhu speaks to Pradyumna Mishra, and he asks questions, answers the questions himself and everything. And at the end, Pradyumna Mishra begins to dance. So he's totally satisfied. But the relationship the structure is very different. Krishna and Arjuna are close friends. But Arjuna says to Krishna, the second chapter of Bhagavad Gita, he says, "I'm a soul surrendered to you." He says, "You instruct me. I'm your sishya. I'm like your disciple. Please instruct me." And then Krishna instructs him. Krishna finds amusement in that statement. He's actually amused by Arjuna stepping out of his friendly relationship with Krishna and acting as if he's, Krishna's sishya. And Krishna's amused by that, actually. But the whole thing goes on in that, Krishna instructing his Arjuna, and it's being related, of course, it's being heard by, it's being related to Dhritarashtra, by
Sanjay.
Sanjay is hearing and telling, Dhritarashtra, this is what they're saying. Not everything he says is pleasing obviously to Dhritarashtra. Because by the conversation, Dhritarashtra can see that all of his sons are going to be wiped off the earth. That's implied, I think, right? One of the implications. Wherever there is Krishna and wherever there is Arjuna, there will always be victory and everything like that. Or the blowing of the conch shells entered into and shattered the hearts of the Kurus. So it wasn't going to bode well for them. And that's something that was understood in the Bhagavad Gita. But anyway, it had that kind of structure. Krishna to Arjuna, transmitted through Sanjay to Dhritarashtra, and everyone else hearing in the process. So, enlightening, no doubt, but the Chaitanya Charitamrita much different. Who is Krishna? Anta Krishna Bahir Gora. Who is Krishna? Mahaprabhu is taking the position of taking the position of hearing from Ramananda Roy rather than Krishna instructing Arjuna. It's a different format, different way of, and yet, anyway. But that idea of going from higher to lower, you can find that in other literatures like Brihad Bhagavatamrita. You can find it in Guru Maharaj's Prapana Jivanamrita. You can also find that kind of structure, although it's operating with the teaching of Sharanagati, of the principles of Sharanagati, as seen also as who is Mahaprabhu? Mahaprabhu is taking the position of not of the Supreme Lord, but of the Lord's devotee. Just as the same thing he does in the Ramananda Sambat. So therefore, it's Mahaprabhu taking the position of, taking the position of a devotee, of Mahaprabhu's servant, rather than of Krishna's servant rather than Krishna himself. Therefore, it says, therefore in the Sikshastika, the last chapter is the Sikshastika verses. We just finished that. But you hear that. Ainanda tanuja kinkaram patitamam vishamai bhavambudo tavapada kripa pankaja dita duli sadrishama vichintaya. The third line I'm saying a little wrong, but anyway. It's saying, O son of Nanda Maharaj Krishna, somehow or other I've fallen into this ocean of birth and death, this ocean of material suffering, and I cannot get out of this by myself. So only if you lift me and place me as a particle of dust at your lotus feet, can I be okay. So, I mean, obviously that's not the Lord speaking. O son of Nanda Maharaj Krishna, I've fallen into this ocean of birth and death. That's the position of Krishna's devotee. We're the ones who have fallen into this ocean of birth and death. And it's very true. In all levels, I cannot swim. So how am I going to swim? I remember Srila Prabhupada used to say, sometimes we may see that the dogs are swimming. So we'll think, if I grab hold of the tail of a dog, he will take me across this ocean of suffering. Why? Because dogs can swim. But no dog is going to take you across the ocean of birth and death. But, we may think that. Why? Because I'm taking shelter of some leader or somebody, this politician, this great personality, this famous personality. I'm taking shelter of them and they'll save me. They won't save you from anything. It's like taking hold of the tail of a dog. And Prabhupada said when he went to France, there was the Arc of Triumph, and it said, France and Napoleon forever. Prabhupada said, well, France is here. Where's your Napoleon? Don't see him walking around right now. Have you seen Napoleon? Can you tell me which way Napoleon is? Oh yeah, he's over by the Arc of Triumph. He was victorious there. Well, what they've done with him, I don't know. They buried him somewhere else. Don't know where. Can't tell you. Oh, they sent him to Elba first. You might want to go there. France and Napoleon forever. Where is he? Oh, Elba, right? Is Elba part of France?
Sure.
Okay. You say, oi, where's Elba? Right? You said France and Napoleon forever. So how do I get to Elba? I take a boat. There are ferries going across there. Are there? Anyone ever visited Elba? That was
Yes,
Prabhupada's.
Mom. I went to Elba.
You did.
I did. I got a boat. I got a nice boat over there.
You did?
Yeah, it was a long time ago. I went to holiday to Italy on my own when I was in my 20s.
But is Elba in France?
No, it's off the coast of Italy.
Well, then why did they say, and is Napoleon buried there?
I don't know. I don't know, actually, because there wasn't any accommodation. So I had to leave the next day. I just stayed in a lady let me stay in her room, and then I had to go the next day. So I didn't get any history of it.
Oh, well, Napoleon was more fortunate. He got accommodation there.
Yeah, he took sanctuary there or something, wasn't it? He hid there.
What?
He hid there. He stayed there for a while, I know.
Yeah, he was sent. He was put there in exile, right?
Yes.
Exile to Elba.
Yeah.
Elba. That's why you didn't get any accommodation. You weren't exiled to Elba.
Exactly. I should have told him my name was Napoleon.
You should have what?
I should have said I was Napoleon.
No, you should have said they've exiled me. Do you have a court order? Okay, well, they said France and Napoleon forever, and he wasn't even, he was exiled to Elba. Did he die there? I don't know if he died there or not.
I don't know. I was just a tourist.
Well, maybe when he got ill, they sent him home to his, to his mom's house.
When he was defeated by the British, the Russians, and the Austrians, he was exiled there. He had to sign the Act of Abdication, and they assigned him the princedom of Elba Island.
There we are.
With an annual pension of 2 million francs.
Wow.
Well, there wasn't anything there to spend money on, probably. They said,
and the islanders enthusiastically welcomed him.
Yeah, okay, good. Yeah. He asked them, what can I spend my pension on? What's Elba most famous for? And they said, it's most famous for Elba grease. Because they're always telling you to clean using Elba grease. Right? You know that, Devashis?
Yeah, Maharaj, yes. Apparently he only lived there for 10 months.
And then what happened?
I don't know what happened then.
I mean, he wasn't like Al Capone, right?
No.
Huh?
He left Elba.
And he went back to France?
Yes, I see.
Anyway, it doesn't matter. Prabhupada just said, he said, it says here, France and Napoleon forever. Here's France. Where's your Napoleon? Even if we knew where he was buried, it really wouldn't make much difference. The remark is still the same. France and Napoleon forever. And you could say, well, he lives in the hearts of his countrymen. Okay, I'll accept that. Although I don't know how many people really remember Napoleon, even Frenchmen, with great esteem. As far as I know, French people are rather disrespectful, aren't they, Peter Bar? Peter Bar's French here. Huh? Peter Bar. Tú no sabes nada de Napoleón, ¿no?
Escuché que murió en una isla que se llama Santa Elena, pero no estoy seguro.
Santa Elena. Where is Santa Elena?
Yeah, he was sent to Saint Helena, and he became ill and died there. And his last words were, 6 years ago exactly, I came to Elba Island. it was raining. I could recover if only I could feel that rain again.
Oh. Where's Saint Helena?
I don't know. Sure. And West Coast of, I'm not sure.
Maybe Italy also. Anyway, see, Peter, he's a true Frenchman. He knew that Napoleon went to Saint Helena. Any other questions? That was a question we had from Ratan Chakraborty. Chakraborty is a...
Thank you, Maharaj. Actually, whenever you present, actually, we like, it's very nice. Even also, Mahaprabhu also mentioned is the very nice word, Chaitanya Charitamrita, chapter 8, text number 101. Mahaprabhu also mentioned, Prabhu kahe, age kaho, shunite pai sukhe, apurva amrita nodi, bohe tomari mukhe. So, it's meaning actually, Mahaprabhu was amazed here from Ramananda Rai, whatever he has presented, is he always asks, please tell me more, please tell me more. So,
yeah.
Similar, we got the essence whenever he presented very, very elaborately, nicely. Really, we like to hear more and more. Actually, it's very amazing. Thank you, Maharaj, for giving all kind of information. Thank you very much, Maharaj.
Okay, done. Falguni, you have a question?
Not at the moment, Maharaj.
Okay. Para el momento, no.
Sí.
Maharaj, I like your chair. That's a good chair.
Yeah, it's what they call, it looks like a kind of a junior Vyasa, but it's actually called here a lazy boy.
A junior.
No, it's called the lazy boy. They can there's a handle on it, and the feet come out, and the chair goes back, and you can kind of like half sit and half. But I have it against the wall, so it won't go back. Someone bought this for me. It's very comfortable. It's very comfortable. You could, if you wanted, you could fall asleep in this chair very easily. But it's nice. I always sit close on another chair closer there because they're better light. But here during the daytime, it's now 12:30 noon, 12:30 afternoon, 35 minutes afternoon actually. So there's a lot of light in the room. Now we're in summer. Oh, look. Shama Sundari, she got home and she's with her mother. Right? Is that true? Ya regresó. Shama Sundari está con su mamá. ¿Dónde va?
Sí, ya llegamos. Dandavats Maharaj.
Están en la misma casa con
Subhadra también está aquí.
Subhadra. ¿Cuántos años tiene Subhadra? ¿Cuántos años tiene Subhadra?
5.
¿Ah?
5.
And is mom in the same house or is somewhere else?
5.
Subhadra.
Yeah, he's in the living room. That's where he works.
But there's doesn't seem to be very good lighting in the living room. Where you are the light.
I think the lights off.
Where you are, oh, now it's.
Yeah, Mahamantra, I think he has the lights off.
Where you are, though,
Oh, there he is now.
where you are, there appears to be sunlight from the window there. ¿Cuántos años tiene tu padre? 6?
Tiene 5, en agosto cumple 6. En agosto cumple 6.
All right.
Está emocionada que pronto cumple 6.
Okay, so su padre is going to be 6. I was thinking I was going to hear something like, "Oh, when you saw her in London, she was only 3 or 4 years old, but now she's 26 or something." I don't know. That happens all the time. Like I saw Krishna Mohini. Her mother came here, and her mother's name is Brajakanti. And she came here, she's from Colombia, Brajakanti. And when she came here, she said, "Oh, I first met you when I was 8 years old." Her mother told me that. Her mother told me, "I met you when I was 8 years old." And when we would say Krishna Mohini, who's the daughter, she's not exactly what we'd call a spring chicken. Not like 20 years old. She's now married and a little older. So when her mother tells me she met me when her mother was 8, then it makes me feel, geez, how old am I? Pretty old. Any other questions? Philosophical questions? Oh, we saw the tool. By the way, where is that Saraswati? Saraswati.
She wanted me to mention to you, Maharaj, that she's hosting guests are coming to the temple.
Well, she's actually just behind the altar now, putting the deities to rest.
Okay, good.
Some guests are here. They're actually helping out, but she's there.
Just wanted to mention she showed me the Tulsi house, which I thought was finished a long time ago. I thought the Tulsi house was finished a long time ago.
I didn't hear that. Any of that.
You didn't hear what?
Okay.
I said the Tulsi house. She showed me that. Oh, nice, nice blue sky.
Yeah, we got summer's day here. 25 degrees.
Nice.
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah, that's really good. That's like 78 degrees Fahrenheit. That's perfect.
Yeah.
Really good. So anyway, here you have a Tulsi house that's very beautiful. And that one, who was the Tulsi guru who showed me the Tulsi there?
He's right here, Satish. He's just coming here. He's amazing. He has a full-time business and he comes in all through the day and checks Tulasi, temperature, all balancing.
Good. Yeah, so he's like the Tulsi guru. He's like
he is, yeah. He's a super expert on Tulasi.
Oh wow! Okay, very nice. Okay. So actually, we just went off. We're going off lockdown now, and we're going off lockdown on Saturday with the 25th deity anniversary. And just now we're going to be starting construction of a Tulsi house.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Well, if you want any tips, we've got the man here.
Yeah. Well.
Maharaj, also one brahmachari from ISKCON came this week to learn from Satish.
Oh, good. That's smart. I didn't know that they could be that. Well, I mean, it's nice. I was going to say I didn't know they could be that smart, but that's nice that they're doing that.
Yeah, from the Soho Street Temple. They have on the top of the temple in Soho Street, Central London. They have the greenhouse on top of the roof, and all the Tulasis got lost, left.
And how did they hear about our Tulasis?
From Dial. Dial Krishnapur is working, in the Soho Street restaurant, and he told them.
Well, when I was in Colombia, they showed me. Actually, they didn't even have any Tulsi house, and during the I think it was the morning they would take Tulsi and put her in the sun, and then the afternoon they brought Tulsi out of the sun, and they didn't even have a Tulsi house, and their Tulsis were so beautiful. They were in pots, but they had grown so beautifully. But that was in Mexico where that was happening. I think they showed me. I think they showed me in Monterrey, which gets a lot of sunshine. They showed me that, and they didn't even have a Tulsi house, but would put Tulsi in the light during the morning, not in the afternoon. And Tulsi was so big and nice. But of course, there's a place with a lot of sunlight. We're surrounded by forest, and we're surrounded by mountains here and things like that, hills. And one place can get a lot of morning sunshine, but it won't get any evening sunshine. And other places get evening sunshine, but not so much morning sunshine. But because we're a colder climate, we really need all the sunshine we can get.
Yeah.
We had planted neem. We had a neem tree here, but it didn't survive. And yet you see neem trees in Vrindavan. They grow very big and good, but they wouldn't grow here so much. And why? Because neem needs a lot of, at least I think 6 months of good sunlight. Neem needs sunlight. And here we don't get we get sunlight, and it can be very nice in the daytime, and then at night you turn into a popsicle. I mean, it gets cold.
Yeah.
So we didn't have 6 months of good sunlight for Tulsi.
Yeah.
Anyway. Situation. So now late, right? Time for dinner in London. So I think, coincidentally, it's time for lunch here. Coincidentally.
Mm-hmm.
So, shall we end now? Is this okay?
Yes, Maharaj. Always very happy to have your company.
Good to see you too. What? And who normally cooks dinner there? You or Ishanuga?
Both.
Yeah, both. Whoever feels up to it.
Who can make better arepas, you or Ishanuga?
Oh, definitely Ishanuga.
And Lavanya Moyi, when I was there, she made very good porridge, especially oatmeal, really nice oatmeal with milk and brown sugar.
Raisins.
What?
Raisins.
And raisins, yeah. Really good. We learned that oatmeal should not be cooked with water. It should be cooked with milk, huh? Is that true?
Unless you're from Scotland.
And?
In Scotland, it's always cooked with water and salt.
And they pour milk on top of it.
Yeah.
They pour milk on top of salt.
Oh, yeah. Well,
Well, I have things here that I got from, and I don't know how the health experts would rate this, but we take carbonated mineral water and we and then we squeeze in a lemon, and then we stir in salt. Cold mineral water, lemon, and salt. What do they call that in Mexico, Pitambar?
Una rusa.
La Rusa, the Russian, La Rusa. Carbonated mineral water, lemon squeezed in, and salt. And I've seen in northern India, they make, what do they call it? Those lassies, they call that, salty lassi.
Yeah.
And Srila Govinda Maharaj told me nobody in Bengal would take yogurt that way. Because they don't stir salt into yogurt. Said they always, if you're going to take yogurt, they always put some gur or some sugar in it. They don't eat it. They don't make like salty lassies, right? What do they call those lassies? What's the roasted? Huh?
Sharbot, Maharaj. Sharbot.
Huh?
Sharbot.
Yeah, but what do they put in northern India? What do they put when they make this salty lassi? They put in toasted what?
Cumin.
Oh, toasted cumin, toasted jeera.
Yeah, jeera, I think. Yeah.
But they don't, in Bengal, do they drink that kind of lassi? Not so much. With jeera and salt? Do they drink that?
Black pepper.
Black pepper and sometimes fennel also. Fennel. Muri. Yeah, sorry.
Because Govinda Maharaj told me in Bengal, mostly people won't take yogurt with salt. They'll take it with gur or with sugar.
Yeah, it was like this.
And they also put in the sugarcane juice, they put pepper. It becomes terrible.
That's your opinion. That's not everybody's opinion. What about when they make shukta? When they make shukta, they put a little sugar in it? I think so.
Yeah.
Yes, tradition is gur. Yeah, before.
Shukto, then they add little sugar.
Okay. See? Very nice.
Because from the vegetables, lot of water comes, so it's little bit like to make a little bit sweet taste. That's why they mix. But now Maharaj is changing because they think about the health also. So everywhere is the recipe is changing.
Well, we try not to think about health so much. That's why we put carbonated mineral water and salt and lemon and salt. But most nowadays they'll tell you, oh, don't take so much salt.
Yeah, on the hand of Mahaprabhu.
But if you're told not to take salt, why do they put blocks of salt for cows to lick?
Yeah, it can be explosion.
It must be beneficial. Must be some beneficial. That's why I ignore health warnings. I ignore health warnings until I'm found lying on the floor. That'll be the end of my health warnings. I'll be lying on the floor and somebody will stand over me. You ignored all health warnings and this is what happened. You made your bed. You made your bed, now lie in it. Well, I'm not lying in bed, I'm lying on the floor. All right, my Dandavats, have a nice dinner. Nice.
Dandava.
Dandava Maharaj.
Who's cooking in who's cooking in the London temple?
In the Green Street or Hatton Cross?
Well, where you are, you will know.
Yeah, I cooked the evening offering. I made cachapas. With broccoli on the side with cheese in them. Because we got donated all this sweet corn.
Who makes cachapas?
Me.
Lavanya Moi.
Yes.
Who taught you to make it? Who made
Cachapas con brócoli, Lavanya.
I've been surrounded by South Americans for 20 years now.
Oh, you mean
they've got to me now.
Cachapas, you mean you've been surrounded by Venezuelans?
Well, yeah, exactly, yeah.
Yeah, you don't put broccoli, Lavanya. That is kind of offensive.
Okay, I know, but you know, I love broccoli, and there was what could I do? No,
we love cheese.
It had cheese in it, folded with cheese in it, and then broccoli on the side.
Broccoli for you and cheese for us. I will have chapas with broccoli and cheese.
Yes, exactly. That's what it was. No, avocado. It was a simple one because we have a lot of prashadam from the lunch and just something.
Can we add some tofu too?
We don't know about cachapas. We only know about tamales.
Uh-huh. Fair enough.
Actually, in India, in Bengal, they eat a lot of rice. In Mexico, they actually have a god where they worship God of corn.
Mm.
The corn god. They worship that.
They do.
Right? Pitambar, los aztecas adoraban el dios del maíz, no? You see, some things are from Mexico. Actually, some foods are from Mexico.
And you know, those are
Some things are like from Mexico: corn, chocolate, chilies.
You going now?
no, we can
Okay.
These are from Mexico: corn, chocolate, and chilies like that.
And tomatoes.
Huh?
Tomatoes too.
Aguacate, cacahuate.
Didn't Vishwakarma make corn?
I don't know.
I heard that.
Well,
he made some things to rival Brahma's creations: the buffalo, corn, and wasps.
And wasp?
Yeah, wasp to rival the bee, buffalo to rival the cow, and corn to rival wheat.
Oh, God. I'm very dissatisfied with some of his creations.
Corn's definitely the best one.
I'm dissatisfied a little bit with the wasp because they'll sting you, but they don't give any honey.
That's right.
Wasps also our guru.
What?
Wasps also our one of the guru, I think. Because the 26th guru, that is wasps, also as a guru.
Okay, that's in the, what's that, in the 7th chapter, 7th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, the 26 gurus of the, I think that's mentioned by the, what's her name? Who mentions the 26 gurus?
No.
26 gurus are mentioned, and one of the gurus, what's the name? One of the gurus mentioned is what, Pindika, or what's her name?
Prostitute, even snakes.
What's the name of the prostitute?
Pingala.
Pingala. And what did she say that was important? She said that she said, hopelessness is the greatest happiness. That's what she said. Because sometimes if you set your hopes on something completely mundane and you don't achieve it, you'll really be happy. You set some goal completely mundane and you don't achieve it, then you can actually be happy, and then it leads you to the understanding that hopelessness is the greatest happiness. She was a prostitute. She'd look all the time for clients and everything, and when she got no clients, then she would go home and and rest nicely, have a good night's sleep, and then she would say that hopelessness is the greatest happiness. So if you set your goal for something completely mundane and you can't achieve it, then you may be really happy. It may turn out very good for you. Because sometimes we don't know what we really want, and we want something completely mundane, and then if we don't attain it, fine. Then you'll be happy.
Target. No target.
Anyway, I'll leave you to that. 26 gurus. Honeybee, though, honeybee is one of the gurus, not just the wasp. Honeybee is a guru, and the honey thief is a guru also. The honey thief. So there are a lot of different strange gurus. Python is a guru.
Yeah.
One day, Maharaj, you will give highlight this part.
I will what?
One day you can give highlighted this 26 guru. What is the lesson? This great lesson, because whatever you mentioned, Pingola was one of the. It's a great lesson for us actually. Hopelessness is the greatest happiness.
Yeah, hopelessness is the greatest happiness.
Yeah, this is a very important message actually for us.
Yes. But Govinda Maharaj, he told me, he says, I am never hopeless. I am always hopeful. He said, I am never hopeless. I am always hopeful. Because all his hope was for something spiritual, not for something mundane. Hopelessness is the greatest happiness if you're hoping for something mundane. But if you're hoping for something spiritual, then it's Govinda Maharaj said, I am always hopeful. I am never hopeless. So he was never hopeless.
It is also Mahaprabhu's message of no dhanam, no janam.
Nasum dream. Kavitamba Jagadishaya Kamani. Mama Janmani, Janmanishwari, Bhavata Bhakti Rahai Tukidvai. Okay. Dandavat. Dandavat Paranams to everyone.
Jai Srila Bhakti Pavan Janardan Maharaj ki jai.
Srila Acharya Maharaj ki jai. Srila Govinda Maharaj ki jai. Srila Guru Bhakti Rakak Sridhar Dev Goswami Maharaj ki jai. All the assembled devotees ki jai. Gaur Premanandi. Hari Hari. Send a few kachapas.